I don't know what to tell you. Phillies fans voted in Trey Turner. So he's going to be starting in the All-Star game. I've just looked this up. Trey Turner, his numbers look really good this year. But fact of the matter is the Phillies have played 91 games so far this season. Trey Turner has played 54.
Now, there's no like limit. There's no like games limit. Like I know in the NBA you have to
Not
play.
that I know of.
Really?
He got voted in by the fans, so he gets to start in the All-Star game, even though he missed almost 40 games so far this year.
Meanwhile, Francisco Lindor is sitting at home, and like you said, you mentioned Brandon Nimmo too. That also being an atrocity, and you could even throw in Francisco Alvarez with the year that
Yeah.
he's been having and everything like that. Lindor was the big one. He's got the marketability. I mean, he's constantly voted by opposing teams as like the most likable person in the MLB. Like it, everybody knows who Lindor is. So I don't
Yeah.
understand how you
Like,
how
out of
he's
all the
there.
guys that the Mets could have had in the All-Star game, Pete Alonso, who made the All-Star team, is like the one that doesn't really deserve to be there.
The one that doesn't fit, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he has had a very not Pete Alonso year.
no.
And it's starting to get exposed. He's also starting to get exposed where he doesn't really hit home runs when it matters. It's only when we're up by a lot or down by a lot is when he starts raking. And I know, and now he's in the All-Star game. So whatever. I don't know what an All-Star is, apparently.
Yeah, because again, I'm looking through this. I'm looking at a couple guys, the reserves for the National League in the outfield. There's a guy from the San Francisco Giants. His name is, I hope I'm pronouncing his first name right. I believe it's Heliot Ramos. It's his first All-Star game. Again, another guy, he has played 54 games in the major leagues this year. He started the season in the minor leagues. I'm sorry,
Unbelievable.
but if you don't start the season on the major league roster, that should be null and void. Doesn't matter how good you are, you should not be allowed to be on the All-Star team.
Is it
Unless,
just the Mets? Is it just because we're the Mets, like we're the little brother team and everything like that? I don't remember us getting this badly mistreated last year in the
yeah,
All-Star
I
game.
know. And again, the guy's numbers are really good, but it's in like 54 out of the 88 games. And he didn't even start the season on the major league roster. He started the season in the minors. Like,
Unbelievable.
and again, the other one that I looked at, now, again, granted, since he has been called up, he's been ridiculous. But another name I have to mention is Paul Skeens, the same way. He started the year in the minor leagues. He got called up 2 months ago and has made 10 major league starts, and they put him on the All-Star roster. The guy's 22 years old. He's got plenty of time to make more All-Star teams if he keeps pitching the way he is.
Right.
And
Now, granted, we didn't have anybody that could have been an
I'm going to
All-Star.
be a bit of a homer here. Luis Severino could have been considered. He's had an amazing bounce back year after falling off a freaking cliff the last like 3 years.
6.9 ERA, I believe it was
No,
on the
it was
Yankees.
3.8.
No, no, no. For the when he was on the Yankees when he
Oh
fell off
yeah,
the cliff.
and he's at like a 3.8 this year.
Yeah,
Steve's
absolutely
numbers are better,
unbelievable.
but again, he's only made 10 starts in the majors. 10. Like, at the very least with the NBA, they have the rookies don't make the All-Star team. They have like the rookie sophomore game that they do to have those. Like,
If
I'm
you
sorry,
just
but rookies, especially somebody again who did not start the season on the Major League Ball Club and started the season in the minors, I don't think should be on the All-Star team. But
no,
again,
not
he's
unless
a
you're an
very
autonomy
marketable
S.
name right now. Paul
Yeah,
Skeens is an extremely marketable name right now. And to add on the fact that his first 10 starts have been pretty electric, that's why he made the All-Star team. And to me, that's
it
not enough
cheapens.
to me.
Yeah, it cheapens it for sure.
Yeah,
For
it
sure.
does.
And
You
I
know,
know that MLB has this big marketability problem and everything like that, where it's viewed more as a regional sport than a national sport. Like you only watch your team in your region that
yeah.
you care about. I don't know
Hmm.
anything about the San Francisco Giants or the Oakland Athletics or something. It's very
Nobody wants to know anything about the Athletics.
no, I know, but you know what I'm saying is it's trying to be less regional. It's trying to get
Yeah,
more cross country stars and everything like that. So I get putting Paul Skeens in there, but you're right, it does cheapen the value a little
yeah.
bit, especially
Like
when you
let
have
him
guys
pitch
like
the rest of the season the way he has, and let him pitch another half a season next year the way he has. Then I would be like, all right, absolutely put this guy on the fucking All-Star team. Let him start the fucking All-Star game at that point if he's
right
pitching that
because it's
well.
not a flash in the pan at this point. Now, is
Yeah,
Paul Skeens going to be a flash in the pan? Probably not. This guy's electric and everything like
yeah.
that. But it's 10
But
games.
yeah.
Realistically, it's 10 games.
Hmm.
We have no idea what this kid is.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I get that. But I mean, on the brighter side of things, the Mets have still been continuing to rake. We tied it with the Nationals, tied our series with the Nationals, and tied our series with the Pirates. Ended on
Hmm.
kind of a whimper there, but
Yeah.
with
Well,
an
the
absolute.
bullpen over the last couple of weeks has been very, very abysmal.
I mean, you gotta that last Pirates game, bro. That if that's not a wake up call for like we have to do something with our bullpen, I
Yeah.
don't know what is, man. I
Because
we
think about it, over the last week, maybe even like the last 5 days, I think the Mets have called up two pitchers, sent down two pitchers, called up two new pitchers. Like it's been 2-2 like every single day where they're calling up two new guys, giving them a shot. Up, they failed, send them down. Let's try out two because they just don't have anybody in that bullpen. Think
yeah.
about it.
So
Brooks Raley went down for the season in like April or May. Ottavino has struggled. Drew Smith is now out for the season. Jake Diekman has been struggling. Reed Garrett has just started to kind of find it again after he started out on the surface of the sun and then fell into I don't know where. So the Mets at this point are just trying to find anybody who can get outs in that bullpen, and
I
it's
re-
just not working.
I really think that it was the three-man combination of Rayleigh getting injured, Diaz not playing well, and Ottavino regressing really badly. Like
Yeah,
those three guys, I mean, nobody would have expected going in that all three of them were going to get worse. So it took a bullpen that was already kind of, maybe it could be passable, and then just tanked it.
yeah. At least Diaz did throw 2 games against the Pirates, and he looked pretty good. After that first batter, I believe it was yesterday, the first game he came back after his suspension, threw like a 4-pitch walk or something to like the first bat, locked it in, came in the next day, had a bit of a rough start, but then sat down in the dugout. Mets went ahead. He came back out after like a half-hour layoff and just locked it in. So at least it looks like potentially for the rest of this season, Edwin Diaz is going to at least be a stable part of that bullpen, hopefully.
Which and it also depends on what Edwin Diaz we're getting, right?
Yeah.
It could be the guy that stunk before, or it could be the guy that was getting his shit together before a ridiculously unnecessary suspension kind of maybe even derailed that even further. Yes, still upset about it. But yeah, man, I actually had to look
Understandable.
up the box score of the afternoon game that just ended today, where the bullpen absolutely completely fell apart.
Yeah.
Just to get the guy's name right, because I had legitimately never heard of him before. His name is Orzi, and
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, was he not doing good. He came in and got shelled like 6 straight times in a row, and it was like we were trying to save Adrian Hauser for the next inning. Hauser had to come in and like just really start getting ready right now because this dude's out here getting bombed out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And didn't even really do anything very good either.
See, my biggest question though is I looked at that really quick earlier today and I saw that Orzi was in the game. I'm really kind of wondering at this point, like the way the bullpen is, you really want to get a look at like what your starting rotation, especially a guy like Christian Scott, who's a rookie. You really want to get a look at him. And they took him out after 77 pitches.
Yeah.
like at least give him a shot to finish the inning. No, like obviously I don't know what the situation was. I wasn't watching the game. I just looked really quick. I saw it was 2 outs in like the bottom of the sixth, and the Orzi came in. They took Scott out. I'm like, and I just saw 7. I'm like, they took him out after 77 pitches.
It really confuses me, man. Carlos Mendoza plays fast and loose with this bullpen. That isn't good. I don't
Yeah.
understand it. The dude had 5.2 innings pitched with 2 earned runs. All right, and we were winning when he left. Okay, it
Well, it
was
was a
still,
tie game when he left. I think it was
yeah, it
two
was
to
okay. Yeah,
two.
you're right. No, it
So,
was. It was 2-2.
he was pitching well as far as you could, even I could tell. It seemed like,
Yeah, I understand that the pitch count was high and everything like that, but you don't have a reliable bullpen. Like 77 pitches is not.
is nothing. No.
You don't
So,
have a reliable bullpen that could come in and give you those extra innings. So what are you
yeah.
doing pulling this guy after 5.2? I don't get it. I don't.
Especially when like he's answered questions before about looking to try and push other starters further. But again, those are the, Manaya, Severino, the veteran guys. It's like, well, this rookie's not, you're not going to see what you're going to get out of him, and he's not going to learn to be a major league pitcher if you don't try and push him and you baby him.
Right.
Like,
But I mean, we got the Nationals and the Marlins coming up next. I think that we can win both those.
Nationals and the Rockies.
Nationals
Marlins,
and the Rockies.
yeah, Marlins are after the All-Star break.
Okay. Okay. Well, still Rockies.
Yeah.
I still expect us to win that series and everything like that, and get back into this playoff hunt and everything like that. I don't. I don't really know any relievers that are available on the market
I have
to.
no idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have you heard any names getting thrown around or?
I would have to look into it. I was looking into something else last night, just that out of curiosity about thinking like what the Mets could be doing at the trade deadline.
So what'd
Um,
you think now?
I was gonna try and save this for next week, but since we're talking about it, I was kind of looking into the will they, won't they, of like, are the Mets going to trade Pete Alonso, or are the Mets not going to trade Pete Alonso?
From
And the
everything I'm hearing, it's 50-50.
yeah, because I mean he's in a contract year. You don't want to lose him in the off season for nothing. If you don't think you're going to sign him, he's going to be looking for a premium as far as contract goes, because that's what Scott Boras clients do. And he's not exactly having the type of season that would make you want to pay him that premium. But here was my concern. If the Mets were to trade Pete Alonso, they're a little bit hamstrung in that situation, because if they were to trade him, they would have to make sure that they're getting an MLB ready first baseman in return, because they don't really have one in the minors right now. Like,
Right,
I was
exactly.
looking through their minor league rosters, and like none of the names outside of Ryan Clifford, who was one of the prospects they got in the Justin Verlander trade, as a first base prospect, they don't really have any other first base prospects, and I don't think he's ready for the majors right now.
No, I mean all the infield prospects that we do have are on the left side of the
Yeah,
diamond.
they're like shortstops or second basemen or outfielders.
Yantos, Beatty, and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
like, so if they were to trade him, if they didn't get a first baseman in return, I don't really know who they would have playing first base, unless you move Mark Vientos to first base and bring Brett Beatty back to play third.
then that's and
Uh,
who even knows what you're gonna get with that.
yeah,
And I like Vientos' defense on third.
yeah,
Mark Vientos has been playing
he's
really
worked his
well.
ass off, and he's gotten a lot better.
How about Luis Torrens though? How about Jose Iglesias? Some of these
Yeah,
guys that like are not name brands or anything like that. Nobody's mom is talking about Jose Iglesias or anything, but these guys are stepping up and just
yeah.
providing like the type of energy that we really need right now, especially as a team that's on the fringe of the wild card and everything. This is the type of stuff, like everybody waving the OMG thing and all that stuff. That's good for our team, man.
Great.
It's good.
And I mean, for Jose Iglesias too, it's nice because he's like a guy who's always been a decent player. He's never really been an all-star type player. Always been like almost like Gold Glove caliber defensively. Been a decent hitter, and for him, it's like he was on the fringe of like nobody was really looking at him. The Mets signed him to like a minor league deal. Had some of those complications, like Brett Beatty wasn't really living up to what they needed. So they brought him up and he's like, oh, I'm getting another chance in the majors. And he's really he's being Jose Iglesias as far as I'm concerned, just with like a little bit of added punch offensively.
Yeah, and like them singing his song and everything like that. These Torrens providing like that extra oomph that we need off of the bench. These are the types of players that we're going to be losing if we become sellers. And I just want to, I would like to hear a plan if we do end up selling, because no matter what way I'm looking at it right now, and I'm not, exactly the biggest baseball head in the entire world or anything, but no matter what way I look at it, if we're sellers, we're definitely getting worse by trading these people off. So I would like to hear a plan. Is it for prospects? Is it for what? Because like you said with Pete Alonso, what are we getting back for him? Who's going to be playing first base in that spot and everything, and how is that going to make us competitive even for next year, which is supposed to be our year according to all
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit out on the selling unless I see a concrete plan as to how we can continue to improve.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. I mean, Torrens, I think he would stay. I don't think even if the Mets do sell, I don't think they would trade him because, I don't know how much you're going to get for him. I mean, the Yankees traded him to the Mets for like cash considerations. So like, I don't know how much the Mets would be able to flip for him.
But
Jose Iglesias.
he's swinging a hot bat right now, and his defense
Yeah,
is pretty great. Like he's been throwing guys out from trying to steal second, and that's something that even Alvarez is struggling with. Like Torrens is probably our best defensive catcher right now, which is wild to think about. When back then, like not even 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were considering, well, do we want Nito or do we want Torrens? Like, like it's wild even considering that conversation now. So I think
yeah,
you could get something for him.
yeah. I don't know how much you would get for him. Same with Iglesias. Like he's hot and stuff like that, but I don't know if you're going to get like a lot for him. Um, I mean, I would like to see the Mets keep those guys anyway. As far as selling guys, I think two of the names that the Mets definitely need to get rid of, which is going to be tough because these are guys that they're not going to be able to trade most likely anyway, are Jeff McNeil, who just seems absolutely lost as far as hitting is concerned, and DJ Stewart. I don't understand why DJ Stewart is still on this team when he's batting 170 on the season right now. Like I know he came in at the end of the season last year and he was great, but I just don't understand what he's adding to this team right now.
There's
Batting
not
170 off the bench.
No, we got him in there as Pete Alonso insurance to try and make sure that we still had some oomph, a little bit of power if Pete Alonso is not hitting the ball, and he has not provided that.
No, he's not done that.
No. So yeah, I'm definitely down for getting rid of him. I'm definitely, but like going back to what you were saying about Severino and everything like that. Like if he goes, Senga's not back yet. He's been having some good starts in rehab in the minors, but we don't know when he's coming back. So who do we have coming
I
up
mean,
to?
if Senga's on a rehab stint right now, he'll probably be back by the end of July or early August at the latest. He'll be back within the month at this point.
Let's hope so, because we keep hearing that, and then we're almost in we're in mid-July right now, and still no sign of Senga. No, it's gonna be a couple weeks. It's gonna be a couple weeks. He's gonna be back. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. Here we are.
Well, at those times he wasn't throwing it. He's on a rehab stint.
Okay, and yeah, I heard he has been doing it.
He's pitching in the minors, like he is pitching in games. That means he's close.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm out on the selling until I see at least a concrete plan as to how we can continue to improve. Because I mean, it's just been an absolute like May was so bad, and then well, May and June were so bad, and then July. Now that we finally found our footing and everything like that, now that baseball is fun to watch, now you're gonna sell all these parts. Like I don't know. It seems defeatist. It seems like a quitter's attitude. I say
I
we
mean,
bust.
uh, I'll agree with you that May was bad, but in June the Mets climbed out of a hole when they were 11 games under 500.
You're right. Okay, so I that we were June was good. I'm focused on July.
April and May were horrific.
Yeah,
June was like surface surface of the sun.
yeah, you're right. I got my
July has kind of like come back down to earth a little bit.
You're right. I got my months confused. That's right. But yeah, man, awful. It was awful in the beginning, and I just don't want it to get back to that point. You know what I'm saying? I want reasons to continue to keep talking about the Mets to you, because it's summer, man, and we're gonna be reaching for content otherwise.
Yeah, that is very true.
Speaking of reaching for content, though, Hard Knocks did come out. We dropped it. I only watched it 3 times instead of the 4 that I told you I was going to watch it. All right. But did you see it? What are your thoughts?
No, I didn't see it.
Why not? It's fun, dude. I would have watched the Dallas Cowboys one. I would have watched the Philadelphia. No, I wouldn't
I
have watched.
wouldn't have even watched the Dallas Cowboys one.
It was very interesting to see how everything works.
I
To
don't
see
know what was it on anyway.
it's on HBO Max.
I don't have HBO Max, so I wouldn't be able to
We'll
watch
hit
it.
up your boy after the podcast, after we're done recording. I'll let you have my credentials. But still, what I'm saying is it's extremely interesting to watch just how a team gets better, or tries to at least attempt to get better in the offseason and everything, and just the real conversations that have to be happening. Like they were talking about Saquon Barkley and everything. There was some brutal conversations to be had about this man. You know, we were talking about signing and trading him and how there wouldn't be a market for him if we did trade him, because nobody would want to pay him that kind of money because he's 27 now. He's older, and that's just what the statistics show. He's just going to fall off.
Yep.
And I kind of agree with it, man. I'm definitely okay. I'm a lot more okay with Saquon going off to the Eagles now because they're getting used goods. You know, the plan on offense, like I think they had one of our offensive coordinators come in while they were talking about what to do with Saquon, and they were like, "Well, listen, if we do get rid of Saquon, what does our offense even look like?" You know what I'm saying? And they said, "You got a $40 million quarterback.
Yep.
Hey, we're not paying him $40 million to hand it off to a $20 million halfback. Okay, it's $40 million. Go out and go earn it." Which I am all here for. I am ready for, but I know it's going to be a disaster. The logic is sound, though. He's being paid $40 million. Go out and show
Yeah.
me you're
Show
worth
that
it.
you're worth that $40 million.
He's not gonna. He's not gonna. It's gonna be awful, which is good. It's good for us. That means that we can finally get rid of Daniel Jones and we can start building around a quarterback that can actually give us the potential to get farther into the playoffs, because we do not have that right now. We know what Daniel Jones brings to the table, and it's a first round out at best.
And tripping over his own feet in the open field.
At worst, yes. And breaking his ACL at the same time somehow. I still don't know how he managed to do that. That's
I have
absolutely
no idea.
But
No
very
idea.
interesting episode of Hard Knocks. I was super into it. They're talking about the draft combine next tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow
Okay.
we dropping the episode. So that's gonna be all about not drafting a quarterback because we failed to move up. According to Joe Shane, this was before Hard Knocks even came out. He tried to move up. Chicago was locked in. They were never going to trade. Washington was never going to trade with us, okay, because we're in division rivals and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys in third just said no. They said we need more than 2 first-round picks, and Joe Shane wasn't willing to give that up for the third best quarterback in a draft, which I love. Thank you so much for doing that. It's gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it should be. Uh, you know, meanwhile, in Cowboys Nation, CD Lamb is deciding to, hold out for a new freaking contract. Just, like every single drama queen in the NFL nowadays. Oh, I want a new contract. I'm not showing up to.
He wants to be the highest paid
Uh,
receiver, man. Uh, I don't know if he's
I
worth. I
I
just
don't
don't know.
think he's worth being the highest paid receiver in the league. Do I think he's worth being a top 10 paid receiver? Yes. Borderline top 5, I could argue it. But
I
the
would be
best,
fine with top five. If you gave him top
yeah,
five receiver money, I think that's a good deal.
but
But I don't
but
think
the
that's
best
it.
receiver in the league, I love CeeDee Lamb, but I'm sorry, I have a very tough time arguing him over the likes of Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill. I
It's
do.
not even it's not even that. You also have to look beyond just CD Lamb. If you do give CD Lamb this giant contract that he needs, you're not going to have enough money for Michael Parsons. And if you do have enough money for both, you're not going to have enough money for Dak. So you really need
I
to
don't know if I that's another question is I don't know if they give Dak a new contract, honestly. After what he's shown so far, being, almost the latest version of Tony Romo in that he's great in the regular season, but can't get the job done in the playoffs. Is it necessarily all his fault? No,
sort of.
but
A lot of it's his fault.
is there fault on it? Yes. Like, you know, do I think some of it could be, coaching or this or that? Sure. But at the same time, he's the one on the field and he's the one that's, not executing. Granted, in some of these games, has the defense done their job to help them win the games? Not always.
No,
But at the same time, like you go into these games, 2 years in a row against San Francisco, do they have a really good defense? Yes. But if you want to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, you got to show that you can make it past those really good defenses like a Patrick Mahomes has done
yeah.
time and time and time and time again, like he did last year with Travis Kelsey and a bunch of nobody at receiver.
You need
Dak
that next
Prescott
level is
has
what
a top 5 receiver in CeeDee Lamb. He had Brandon Cooks, who was amazing at the end of the season last year. Jake Ferguson, who's a really good tight end. And
and one of the best offensive lines in football.
yeah, and a really good offensive line that played really well last year.
Yeah. Still don't
Well,
get it.
the only reason I would say give Dak another contract, but obviously nowhere near as much money. If he has a decent season this year, then it's like, all right, that's good because that offensive line is going to suck this year.
Really?
Suck. They
Really?
lost their starting center. They lost Tyron Smith. They lost 2 starters on that offensive line.
That's
And
getting
Terrence Steele, who was the starting right tackle, had a terrible season last year. So
as a fan of
you currently have 2 offensive linemen on the roster in Tyler Smith and Zach Martin that you can trust to play well. The other 3, you have no freaking clue.
as a fan of a rival team, it's going to be interesting to see because having a great offensive line has been a staple for you guys for at least a decade.
As far as we know, it's going to be hit or miss with this offensive line. Either something's going to go right and they're going to be really good, or honestly, we think we got 2 guys are going to do good and the other 3 guys are just going to be, we have no freaking clue.
Well, that's a recipe for a disaster. I can tell you that much because we got 1 or 2 guys that are good on our offensive line, and we think that that's good enough. It's not.
No.
It's absolutely not. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, am I not excited for you to watch like a team that you root for behind a bad offensive line because it is some of the most frustrating football to watch ever, man. There's a lot of things that Daniel Jones gets hate for that are not Daniel Jones's fault, just because he hikes the ball, and the second that the ball gets into his hands, he's already on his back. So, I mean, it's bad and super frustrating. So I hope you don't have to deal with that. But I think what
Yeah,
you
I
were
know.
saying
We'll
about
see.
Dak, though, is that he does lack that next level. Like there
He
there
does.
are players in the league, and they don't even have to be good players. Like Nick Foles had that next level that you just have to
Somehow, yeah.
during the playoffs where you have to step it up, just be a little bit faster, be a little bit stronger with the ball, put a little more oomph behind that pass. And it doesn't seem like Dak has that next level. He thinks that being good in the regular season, I mean, oh, I could just keep doing this, but no, you
No,
don't. You can't.
no.
You need that next level, and I don't think
Yeah.
that
Yeah. And if he does, he hasn't found it yet.
yeah, and it's not a death knell. Teams can get. I mean, teams have won with quarterbacks without that next level. Mark Bolger's got a ring.
Yeah.
You know,
Joe Flacco.
with Flacco, he's got a ring. He never
Yeah.
had
I
that.
mean, I love Joe Flacco and stuff, but
So,
when they won that Super Bowl, his receivers saved his ass so many times.
oh my God, so many times,
So many
unbelievable.
times.
Yeah,
Was
but
that
that's
who
what I'm
was
saying.
that?
You
Was
can get.
Torrey Smith and Anquan Bolden were just they were amazing in those playoffs.
You
And
can
again,
get to,
he wasn't necessarily bad, but they caught a lot of balls that were like 50-50 and just made him look so much better.
you could get to the top of the mountain with a quarterback that doesn't have that next level. We've seen it done, but it becomes exponentially harder. Your team
Mm-hmm.
has to have no holes,
Yeah.
and that's not a team that I think we're talking about with the Dallas Cowboys.
No, not at all. Not
Yeah,
at all.
need a better defense at least, and a
No,
running back.
well, yeah, considering again too, defensively, they didn't have any linebackers last year. They only signed one linebacker in free agency. They lost two or three starters on the defensive line. So it's like they got Micah Parsons, they got Demarcus Lawrence, and they're going to have Trayvon Diggs coming off an ACL injury. Outside of that, I don't really know what their defense looks like right now, but that's got a lot of holes that they got to fill as well.
Yeah. And you might not even have Michael Parsons for that much longer either, depending on how this whole triangle works out.
Yeah,
Like I said, you only got enough money for two out of the three. Now,
yeah.
who are you wanting? Are you going to do CD and Micah and just try and find another quarterback in Dak, or do you think that because like the quarterback market is not good right now? I could tell you that.
No, it's not. But I don't know. At the same time, I would almost want to go with CD and Micah just because they're younger, and you're gonna get more years out of them than you are Dak signing him to another contract.
So you think what draft Shador perhaps?
Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool. I'm sure the Cowboys owner would be all over that. He's got the
Oh, yeah.
marketability. He's got the Deion Sanders as his dad and everything like that. That sounds like something right up your guys'
Yeah,
alley.
it sounds right up Jerry Jones's alley.
Yeah. So
Sounds like the Johnny Manziel that he wasn't able to draft because thank God somebody talked him out of it, and they drafted Zach Martin instead.
yeah, that worked out really well for you guys. So
That worked out really well.
yeah, seems like you guys make your biggest moves when Jerry Jones is telling you to do the opposite.
Yeah. Because too, I remember that draft too, and everybody talking about like how the only reason Jerry Jones wanted to draft Johnny Manziel wasn't because they needed a quarterback, wasn't because he wanted them to fight for the starting quarterback position. He wanted to sell jerseys.
Mhm.
That was the only reason they were saying Jerry Jones wanted to draft him.
And God,
Thank God they did not. So so maybe because they didn't draft him, maybe that means all that all those rumors and that stuff saying that Jerry Jones wants to draft him so he can sell Manziel jersey. Maybe that was all lies.
maybe.
Maybe that was all just lies by the media and stuff like that, trying to drum up interest and create storylines. Maybe all along it was like, hey, no, if this kid Zach Martin is there, we're taking him. Like, who knows?
I mean, yeah, because like everybody was buying the Johnny Manziel hype during the draft. Nobody
Oh
knew it
yeah,
was going to be a bust except for that one guy who convinced you guys otherwise. That was the one guy that saw it. Everybody else
maybe
was like
yeah.
Johnny Manziel, next big thing, you know? So it's not a move you could have hated or anything like that. But damn, whoever that guy is, he better be your head scout or
Yeah,
something. He better be on the payroll still, and he better be making the big bucks.
the big bucks. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah, because that would have ended horribly.
Oh yeah, that would have ended so bad. So
So what
so
else you
bad.
got?
Well, I mean, as you've talked about before, we are in the middle of summer. We don't exactly have um much else to talk about right now. We talked a little about the MLB All-Star game, gave some updates on the Mets. We talked our football for our teams.
Say basketball rosters came out. Cooper Flag was on them. That was something that was really fun.
Oh yeah, the USA basketball rosters did come out. I saw that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, hey, if all things go well with this roster for the USA, I would almost they better damn sure win a gold medal in the Olympics with this team.
The expectations are extremely high, but France and Spain might have something to say about it. They've got some really good teams out right now, especially
Yeah,
France. Wemby
with
decides.
Gobert and Wemby, right?
Oh yeah, that's going to
Yeah.
be the twin towers of pain over there. That's
Mhm.
crazy. But I mean, expectations are extremely high, not only just because it's American basketball, so of course, expectations are going to be high, but it is also the first team that LeBron and Steph are playing on.
Yep.
So that's
They
going to
got
be
Kevin Durant is there. Devin Booker is on that team.
yes, but the LeBron Steph
He's
thing is
on
the
the
biggest
team. Anthony Davis is on the team.
because they had never been teammates before, but
Yeah.
and everybody's getting hyped over it. But I mean, I think Steph's 38 and LeBron's 40. So this would have been really cool
I
like
don't
10
know if
years
Steph is that
ago.
old.
He's
I
getting
know
up there.
he's getting up there. I don't know if he's that old though. Let me check. He's
Yeah, dude,
36. He's
36.
36.
My bad. All right. So I added 2 years onto him, but still, I mean, both of their best games are definitely behind them.
I I don't know, man. I mean, Steph Curry is just he's so good. And I mean, LeBron, for as much hate as you can put on him, I mean, the longevity is there, and he does keep himself in really great shape. He does.
Amazing shape for a
Yeah.
40-year-old man. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing shape. And just to be clear, there will be no LeBron hate on this side. I am a big time LeBron fan. He is the GOAT. He's absolutely amazing. Dude, he's 40 years old and he's still doing this. It's like
Yeah.
Michael Jordan retired at 38, I believe, and he stunk on the Wizard. Do you remember that? It was bad.
Yeah. Because he didn't work out and keep himself in shape like LeBron does. He drank whiskey and smoked frickin' cigars all the time.
Okay, so what are we holding that against LeBron now? we're we're holding it against LeBron that he didn't smoke cigars and drink whiskey and gamble all of his money away. Like I
No,
think that's a pro LeBron point, is it not?
nah.
No, no, too hard, too easy. He says. We'll we'll check back in a couple of years, see how you're feeling when you're 40.
Couple, yeah, more than a couple.
I mean, I'm 35, man, and I feel like shit. I can tell you that right now. I haven't even reached 40. And no, there's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Yeah, well, that's what alcohol do to you.
I mean, it's not just that. It's just
A lot of things.
being a lazy stoner, I think, hurts a lot more than the alcohol does.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Playing video games all day doesn't really build a good body.
You got to play some VR video games.
Yeah, you've been seeing that stuff? That's
I
just
I
crazy.
have one. I haven't touched it in a little while, but I have a VR headset.
Do you have a VR
I got
one?
back
I
on.
saw that they're coming out with one with like a movable floor and everything like that, so you can actually like walk around and shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are expensive as shit.
Yeah, like $800.
Yeah, yeah, the Omni treadmills like they had in the movie Ready Player One.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Hmm.
I've
Yeah,
been seeing that shit and I want it. I want it.
it's expensive. No, yeah, I haven't picked it up in a while. I probably should, but yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Like I have, I don't have too many games on it, but I have a few of them that are pretty cool. Uh, before I had stopped playing it, I was really into I was playing golf. I was playing virtual reality golf. It's
Oh,
actually
okay.
it's pretty cool. Like just
I was
being able to like you have the headset on and just like I'm standing in my room and I'm like seeing all the scenery and like hearing the like the wind and like birds chirping. And I'm literally just sitting there, boing, and just watching the ball go. I'm like, this is great.
I never pinned you for a golf guy.
I just recently like started trying to get into it.
Is this your old man thing? Like mine is, I don't listen to music on the radio anymore. I only listen to sports talk and shit like
No,
that.
I listen to music on the radio.
that's that's my old man trait.
No, I mean for me it's mostly just trying to find something to make it so I'm not sitting at home like all the time on the weekends and shit like that.
Sitting at home all the time on the weekends is fun.
Yeah, yeah, but I need to get up and do something so that I'm not, like you in a few years and just be like shit from sitting around doing nothing all the time.
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
All right. Well, since we've been ranting here for a little bit, let us get into something. I need to find it though because Zoom updated and now some things are in different spots and I found it.
Get into something. Are we not doing like connections?
No, we are. It just I had to find the screen share button because Zoom updated and it moved. So
Holy ads.
I had to find it.
Okay, that's a little bit better, but shit, man.
Okay, so how the hell are we gonna fucking beat this one?
Who the hell's player?
I don't know. Oh,
Reed Shepard.
I don't know who that is. Oh, so we have our friend. Well, hey, you pronounced his name last time. I don't.
Zachary Risache.
Okay, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Alex Sarr, Donovan Mitchell, Andre Iguodala, Ron Harper, Reed Shepard, Jaylen Brown, Caleb Martin, Rick Fox, Big Booty Kyle Lowry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Stefan Castle, Josh Richardson, and rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Bean Bryant. So Sarr and Risache went 1-2 this in this draft. Can we
Who?
find
Oh, Star and this guy?
yeah. So do we know who went 3 and 4? I don't.
I don't. Would he be in there? Maybe. I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, I don't know who Reed Shepard is either. I also don't know who Rick Fox or Stefan Castle are.
Me neither.
And it apparently, according this game, doesn't either because when you view the player, look,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a picture. We can't even
It
guess.
also doesn't have a picture of Giannis or Ron Harper.
Giannis is unforgivable.
Yeah, even Ron Harper, like who? I mean, he's well known enough in the basketball world. Like,
Him and player.
yeah, yeah, player Reed Shepard.
All right, so we'll skip that then.
All right.
And then what else do we see that's jumping out at us? Anything?
I mean, LeBron, Shaq, Kobe, and I guess Rick Fox have all played for the Lakers before.
Jaylen Brown and Kobe Bryant might have like some sort of shooting guard statistic. But I don't see anybody else that would even be like maybe Kyle Lowry. Well, Donovan Mitchell, yeah. And then maybe Kyle Lowry, but that doesn't really.
No, not Kyle Lowry. He's a point guard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Played for the 2000 Lakers. Okay.
Shit. All right. So
okay, so that's Shaq. That's I believe Ron Harper, Rick Fox, and Kobe.
Yes. There you go.
So I was right about the Lakers thing. I was a little off about the timing of it.
Because I didn't know who Rick Fox was, but Ron Harper definitely fit into that.
Yeah. So what do we have here now?
Giannis, LeBron, Iggy, and then nothing. And then maybe Jaylen Brown for like point steals or points. Hmm.
I have no idea.
Caleb Martin went. No, Caleb Martin didn't go in this draft.
No, he's been around for a while. All right. Well, what's the next hint? 2024 picks 1 through
Told
4.
you. I told you.
Yeah, you did. So that was that guy, Alex Sarr,
Shepard
I guess Shepard
and
and
Castle.
Castle.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
All right.
All right, so what do we have now?
4 big men and 4 guards. 4 forwards, 4 guards. That's what it looks like. Giannis and LeBron have got to be together for something.
All right, I'm thinking, but I don't know. Who won Finals MVP for this year? Was it Tatum?
Brown.
It was Brown.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Giannis, and Iggy have all won Finals MVP.
Let's do that.
Nope. One away. Then what the hell could that be? One away from what?
That's what I'm saying. And then what would
And who would you put in there instead?
Josh Richardson, obviously. Because
No.
Mitchell, Martin, and Lowry all play a very certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Point guard, passing, steals, a little bit of buckets. While Donovan Mitchell, a lot of bit of buckets. But you know what I'm saying? And then you have these 4 forwards in Iggy, Brown, and James and Richardson.
Okay.
Or no, Iggy, Giannis, James, and Richardson. No. Josh Richardson does not fit here. That's what we've come down to. I can't. He's throwing me off, bro.
All right.
Fast break leader.
Spread points per game leaders.
Fast break leaders.
What
So that's
in
got to be Giannis. That's got to be LeBron.
it's got to be Giannis. I would say obviously it's not Iguodala, it's not Josh Richardson.
So
I would say Giannis, Don, LeBron, and Jaylen.
Yeah. Kyle Lowry's giant ass is not running
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Okay, so what the hell do these 4 have in common?
No fucking clue.
Andre Iguodala, Caleb Martin, Josh Richardson, and Kyle Lowry. I'm trying to think. I think like Kyle Lowry and Caleb Martin were both undrafted, but Iguodala was like a top 10 pick, wasn't he?
Nah, but he was first round.
Yeah.
I think Josh Richardson also was a high pick.
What the hell could these guys have in common?
Played for mediocre teams their whole life.
I don't know. Let's find out. Played
Sixers.
for Sixers and the Heat.
That is so random.
I didn't know Caleb Martin played for the Sixers.
I didn't know he played for the Sixers either. I only think of him in a uniform.
Yeah, and Josh Richardson, I didn't. I know the name.
Lowry, I can't picture in a Sixers uniform, honestly.
Yeah, he played for the Sixers this year.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And Iguodala, actually, I don't remember Iguodala ever playing for the Heat.
Then wasn't he on one of the Heatles teams?
The who?
Heatles. LeBron, D Wade.
No, he was in Golden State.
I know he was in Golden State for like 1 or 2 of those years. I think he might have started on the Heatles, though.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna look it up while you pull up Hall of Fame mode.
All right. Well, that's not going to take very long.
You reading out the names too.
All right. We got Bam Adebayo, Otis Thorpe, Drew Gooden,
Great name.
Del Curry, Scottie Pippen, Nick Nicola Zick.
That's not a real name.
I don't know. Tyrese Maxey, Julius
Skittish,
Randle,
skittish.
Don McLean, De'Aaron Fox, Michael Thompson, Joe Smith, Billy Owens, Yao Ming, Dwight Howard, Rasheed Wallace, Reggie Miller, Devin Booker, Charles Barkley, Jay Williams, Mike Dunleavy, Chris Gatling, LeBron James, Gary Payton, and Draymond Green.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't think we're getting this one. There's a lot of guys I do not know on here.
Okay. Well, let's see. Right off the bat, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and 5.
Old heads?
All have sons in the NBA.
Oh, yeah, there you
LeBron
go.
Kid hasn't played yet, but he got drafted.
No, yeah, that's true. That's
And that
what
wasn't
was
even
Scottie
the
Pippen
easy one.
Jr.
How was that not the easy? That was like the most obvious one to me.
What is Scottie Pippen Jr. doing these days?
I thought he was in the G League for the Lakers, as far as I knew.
To answer your question, Iggy played for the Miami Heat from 2019 to 2021. So
So at the end of his freaking career, after. Okay.
At the end.
All right. So what else do we have here? We got Bam, Devin Booker. No, never mind. LeBron's not there. I was gonna say guys on the Olympic team. That's not right.
Judges, perhaps. Wait.
Dwight Howard and Yao Ming have a lot of dunks in their career.
Seeing foreign-born players, perhaps. Yao Ming, the guy with the impronounceable name.
Who else?
Yeah. I thought Maxey was Canadian, but even then, it's not going to give it to us.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so we actually got that one. So what's the East? Went to Kentucky. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Good luck, dude.
I know De'Aaron Fox went to Kentucky. Julius Randle, I'm pretty sure, went to Kentucky. I think Tyrese Maxey went to Kentucky. I think Booker went to Kentucky.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe Bam. Did he go to Kentucky? I don't know. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, there we go.
I helped.
All right. Let's see what else we have here.
Skittish Billy. Skittish Billy is what I'm going with.
Okay, you know what? I feel like I have something with Wallace, Miller, Barkley, and Draymond, and somebody else, something to do with technical fouls in their career, or like ejected. Because I know Rasheed Wallace and Draymond Green are definitely up there. And I think Reggie Miller might be too. I don't know.
Dwight Howard loved to cry a lot.
Yeah, maybe Dwight Howard. Could that be it? That's something most careers. Yeah.
All right, that was a good one, dude. I would not have gotten that one. All right, so now we got.
You see Rasheed Wallace, you always got to think of like technicals or ejections because I think he has like the most career one. I mean, him and Draymond.
Yeah, Sheed and Draymond right away. It should have been ejections or something like that.
Okay, so
now
I'm trying to think of what you were saying before with like the foreign born guys, which I think would be Yao Ming, this guy, possibly Don McLean,
Sounds Canadian.
maybe Otis Thorpe.
Nah, I think you're stretching with that one. Otis Thorpe's an old head. I don't think he would have.
Uh, actually,
None of
maybe
them look very non-American.
Williams, Mike Dunleavy,
No,
maybe, and like a Chris Gatling.
sure.
Oh, okay. Why not? Let's see. No, nothing. Okay.
Yeah, because like I don't know Nicholas. I don't know Chris Gatling. I don't know Joe Smith. That's such a common name.
Yeah.
Don McLean. I don't know him.
All right. So what don't we have yet? We don't have the two hardest ones. 2002 draft picks 1 through 5.
Okay, so let's think
Okay.
really hard
I
here.
think that I think that was the Yao Ming draft.
Okay.
So that would be Yao Ming, possibly Mike Dunleavy,
Jay Williams, perhaps?
Jay
Too
Williams.
old?
Maybe I could see that.
Is that too old?
I don't think so. Uh,
Drew Gooden and Nicholas, perhaps?
that's what I'm kind of thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. All
There we
right.
go.
So that's who Nicholas is.
So what do these last guys have in common? I don't know. Are
Again,
these the foreign? No, it's not Yao Ming. So I don't know who the heck.
old heads,
Uh,
really, really old heads with Billy
I
Owens.
I don't know what is it. Traded
Schrader.
7+ times in their career.
Okay, if you say so, dude.
So yeah, if they say so. Oh geez, that's a
That's
lot of
crazy.
times getting traded in your career, though.
It is
Seven
pretty wild.
times.
Was that
Oh,
old Otis Thorpe got traded 7 times? I thought he
yeah.
was really good. No,
I don't know if that's impressive
let's look up
or like depressing.
Otis Thorpe while you're transitioning over here. I thought old Otis was good.
I
Apparently
don't know.
not. 7 teams passed on.
Yeah,
Passed
I don't
on
even know who he is, so I don't know.
Otis Thorpe. You're not gonna give me his career stats. You're gonna give me his stats from the last season he played. Thanks, dude. 14 points per game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. So not great.
That's not terrible.
He's not lighting the world on fire or anything like that.
That's like a good guy to come off the bench, though.
One-time NBA champion with the Rockets, one-time NBA All-Star. So yeah, we're talking about like a Kyle Lowry type guy.
Yeah.
All
Although I
right.
mean, Kyle Lowry was an All-Star in his heyday, though, like a multiple time All-Star.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. One or two good
Yeah.
years. Just,
I feel like you're looking more of like a Jeff Green, who's just
okay,
kind of always there, always solid.
reliable.
Yeah, just old reliable.
So since we're transitioning off and everything like that, wanted to drop the big news for anybody who's listening and everything like that. We are going to be on all your favorite podcasting apps from here on out. Spotify, I got us an RSS feed, so that's gonna put us on Spotify. It's gonna put us on iHeartRadio. It's gonna put us on Amazon Music and not Apple Music. Fuck Apple. Don't know why. That's just the way that it went. But
That's fine.
yeah. So definitely look out for us there. This is kind of the way that I thought that this podcast was going to go from the beginning, because now you don't got to look at our big ugly mugs anymore. You just get to hear our takes, which I think is pretty good. But yeah, definitely look out for us there from here on out. It started with last episode, which is on there currently right now. This episode will be uploaded as well, and we'll be uploading them from here on out. So check us out there if you don't like seeing our big stupid faces, and which I don't blame you for.
But then how are they going to know that we really are the Beard Boys?
That's our faces are in the B. They can figure it
That's
out.
fair.
So, what else? You got anything?
Uh, well, let's see. We will be just about at the All-Star break the next time we record. Actually, we'll be at the All-Star break next time we record. Um, so we could have maybe a little bit more insight on what the Mets are going to do. You'll have another episode of Hard Knocks to talk about. And we'll see if anything else happens on with the NFL, NBA free agency type stuff, NHL free agency type stuff.
You're not
And
gonna be really hearing much from the NBA side of things. Most of the
yeah,
dominoes have already fallen.
and I mean, we can give like kind of like a first half of the season recap on the Mets as well as just what overall in baseball of who's good and who's not.
First half grades, mid-season report card. I love it.
There you go.
Plus, why was Malik Neighbors the right person to pick over a quarterback for the Giants? I'll be all in on that.
Okay.
Want to do the shout out?
Our stuff will be down here.
Yes.
Instagram, YouTube, whatever else.
Threads, Spotify.
Facebook, Spotify, all that stuff will be either above my head or below my chin.
They'll be right down there.
Yeah.
All right, my bud. I will see you next week.
See you next week.
Later, Gators.